Well, greetings Terra Firma Guitar viewers, it's Nick from wintry Sydney. It's June the 1st. I've got a really interesting comparison video I put together. It's got multiple comparisons. The Yamaha LL16 versus the Eastman E10D versus the Eastman E1OM Special. Now you can see all these guitars on my other videos, but it's really interesting to put them back to back today. So there's three things going on. This one, the Yamaha, has Engelmann spruce top with the Rosewood back and sides. The Eastman E10D has an Adirondack spruce top with Mahogany back and sides. And the E1OM has Sitka spruce with Sapele back and sides. So there's three differences there. And of course, I would say that the Yamaha LL16 and the Eastman are pretty much the same in terms of being big guitars. This is actually slightly larger in dimensions than a Dreadnought. This is Yamaha's OM Jumbo, designed with this rather nice rounded curves. But the Eastman E1 is an OM with the long scale length, but that small, shallow body. Let's have a listen to them. I'm going to play three different pieces back to back, and you can hear the differences. And the first piece I'm going to play is actually quite shocking, so let's have a listen to it, and then we'll talk about it after. What was shocking about that recording for me was how warm and bassy the E1OM sounds, considering it's got such a smaller body. Possibly the Yamaha did sound the thinnest of all. Both the Eastman and the Yamaha sounded relatively thin, which was just remarkable because in the room, they do have more bass and they are also louder. It's just one of those things, it's hard to catch that on the microphone. Possibly it was tilted a little bit more towards the microphone, but in any case, you can hear the bass response coming out of it, and generally it's very warm, and I can tell you it's a very rounded sounding guitar. I think the other thing that comes through from this first little clip, recording a guitar, that big body is not going to really help. The Dreadnought is not best suited to putting in front of a mic. Maybe for our ears, the bass that little triple O body, that shallow body's pushing out, is still producing a bass that pushes through into a microphone and creates the bottom end that we can hear. So I was shocked at how bassy that was, and really goes to show, even if you love big guitars, those little guitars just perform really, really nicely. That's what really came out on that first clip. But now let's listen to the second one. And this one I've stood further away from the mic, and I did it at night. At night, you can play a lot more softly, just everything's quieter and your ears are slightly more turned up. And I'm standing further away from the microphone, and so you're hearing a bit more of the natural sound of the guitars. last piece, by the way, is a blues tune of my own. And just a shout out to Jackson C. Frank. And he was an American guy who went over to England and he recorded an album there in the 60s. He was quite influential folk blues performer. You should check him out. He had a tragic life and he took his beautiful Martin guitar over to London. Even with the guitars at this distance, you can see that E1 is still just sounding as big as the other two, which is just incredible. I thought the LL16 is pushing out quite a lot of mid-range and high-end, and the E10 also has a strong mid-range. That E10 I've had for about 20 years now. I've had a funny time with it. It's been through periods of time where it really didn't sound good at all. Just the last year or few months I've been picking it up, it's starting to resonate and ring out a lot more nicely again, so I'm actually playing it a bit more. With that Adirondack, it's actually got a lot of trebles and mid-range has been more and more pronounced as it's got older. So it kind of cloaks the bass. It's got a strong bass as well. Whereas I think that E1, you can feel is fuller and richer through the whole range. The LL16 I think is similar to the E10. It's got the bass and it's got really quite a strong mid-range and tops as well. But to play it in the room, it's not really captured here. It's more rounded with that Engelmann. It really smooths out that guitar. It's actually, I really like it. It doesn't come across as well in this recording. I'll just also point out, it's got old strings. Probably the Yamaha had the older strings, the E10 has old strings, and the newer strings on the E1, so it gives a bit of an advantage to that E1OM in this comparison. Okay, for the last clip, I've got the guitar right back up close to the mic, and I'm doing some picking, what do you call them, arpeggios. So I recorded that with this Shure, as I have all my videos with my iPhone. So it's a stereo mic. And I guess you could quibble that it's not great quality, but the thing is, it is like for like. So, and I'm using these Pro picks. And I just recently got onto this shape after many years of using this one. This one lends itself more to using it like a pick. And I really aspire to do that. Tommy Emmanuel can absolutely shred using his thumb pick, and then he uses his fingers, but he doesn't put these on. These take a long time to get under control, but I just find I haven't got the strength in my fingers to play a steel string guitar without them. Did you hear how beautiful the E1 sounded? Piano-like and nice, I think. But then you can hear that bottom E string on the Yamaha in that first hit when we cut to it. You can hear that different dimension of bass that guitar is pushing through, and it just got captured there. And similarly, the E10 sounds a bit fuller and warmer than the Yamaha. E1 has the aged top, torrified, they call it from Eastman. The Yamaha has an ARE top, which is the aged process that they use. Whereas the E10 has good old-fashioned time aging that top. So if you're fans of these guitars or you're thinking of maybe buying one of them, I hope this video is helpful. And they're all beautiful guitars. And if you watch my channel, you can see I'm a big Eastman fan. And then more recently, I've got the Yamaha going, and I really like the Yamaha. I had some Recording Kings. I think they are a tier down from the Yamaha and the Eastman. I do think Eastman are the best bang for buck. And I'd love to own like a Martin, Gibson, Taylor. But we're talking about at least 2 to 4 times more expensive. I'd love to get my hands on some of those guitars. But for me, and my playing level, the Eastman and the Yamaha are really rewarding and satisfying, and I love picking them up every